Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while since there's been a video like this on my channel, and I know I've been gone for a while. But welcome to episode 1 of my newest series on this channel, building my newest park in Planet Coaster console called Capital Spire. If you want to know what happened to my old park that I was building called Thrill Seekers Island, you can check out my update video that I posted. Explains everything you need to know about what happened with that park, but if I had to sum it up in one word, I'd say demotivation. But now I'm moving on to a much bigger, not in size, but in quality project. And I already feel like I've made a huge step up from my last park, and definitely that 1 month break has allowed me to open up to some new ideas and some new just general mindset about Planet Coaster, and I've definitely improved, I believe, so far with this new park. But all that out of the way, I'm going to get into Capital Spire. Alright, so we are now in Plipcam mode, and I'm going to be showing off what I have done so far in this park and explaining a bit of the backstory of this park. So this park is called Capital Spire because in the middle of the park there's going to be a pretty big spire that dominates the park, which you can see from basically anywhere. And there's going to be 3 main themed areas: a nature themed area, a water themed area, and an industrial themed area, which all culminate to create the Capital Spire. So just right here I've made a staff only area for the staff members to come into the backstage areas that I've made for the entrance area. So now I'm coming into the entrance area, the sidewalk from the parking lot. I'm very pleased with how the parking lot came out, especially for my first go at it. So this combines all 3 of the main elements: nature, water, and I guess industrial for the welcome sign. And then this is the main area with the towers, just massive towers on the buildings. Again, fit with the theme of the Capital Spire. Ticket booths right there, and then your main entrance with the custom lettering saying Capital Spire. It's hard for me to say the word Spire, so if I mess up somewhere through and I don't catch myself, yeah, it's my fault. So coming in here, you have a bag check area. I created these metal detectors using pieces. And then I have people to check your bags. I made an area where people, if you don't have a bag, can go through that area. And then I have 2 bag check areas, just for a sense of realism, because, you know, I thought about that. I was like, to add some metal detectors and tables for the bag checks. So now I'm going to show how I built the vending machines with some very weird pieces, I'd say, but hey, guess they work. I used this sign piece to replicate where, like, the metal detector parts, and then use basic shapes on the top to put it all together. So as I'm doing that, as you can see what I'm doing, I'm going to explain a little bit more about what my goals are for this park and what I plan to do. I plan to get at least 1 episode out a week, get some good time building before I post an episode. Because with my last park, there were some episodes I was just building a couple buildings, and it wasn't really that interesting. I want to make sure each episode has an interesting thing to it, something that you all would enjoy, like possibly a coaster or a ride. I don't want to have just dull episodes with just buildings. So I'm using a bunch of the sign pieces to make this metal detector, and I feel like it turned out well. I bet there are some pieces that I could have used besides the sign pieces, but I don't know. I liked how the sign pieces turned out in the end. So back to what I was saying about the plan for the park. My plan is to do a lot more buildings this time. I always do a lot of nature and a lot of foliage around. My plan is to have a lot more buildings, detailed buildings, to just overall make a nice park atmosphere, since I'm having a whole themed area to foliage and stuff like that. I'm definitely going to be focusing a lot on the other areas with a lot of buildings. I do plan to add a possible water ride don't know about a dark ride for this park. I did build a dark ride for my last park. You never got to see it, but I did build it. I do not know if this park needs a dark ride. If I do end up putting one, great, I guess. So now I'm going to be going in, picking things apart, and kind of showing you what I've done with some of these pieces. So the first thing is this custom lettering. I use basic shapes, mostly the cylinders, to make the sign. I like how the sign turned out. I guess for my first shot at making custom lettering, I think it turned out well. This might be my official font that I use for all my parks. Right now, I think that's where I'm going to go for, but if I end up deciding to try and make something better, which sometime down the line I will definitely try. I always try to improve in every aspect of my parks, so definitely will try to make better custom lettering down the line, but for now, that seems like a nice custom lettering for the building. I put a lot of towers around here just to kind of show the theme, and when the big spire is placed, it'll make for a nice skyline from that entrance. I'm in here, I put the animatronics down as staff members to make sure if anyone has metal in their pockets, they will whip out their stick things and like wave it around, pat you down. And then the ladies back there to check your bags. So I've added a lot of details to the walls, especially some pillars. One thing I've used that I don't see a lot of people using is I used part of, I think, something to do with the haunted house piece. I don't know. I think I'll pick it apart later. But here's the backstage area, my first shot at making a backstage area, and I think I did very well with it. Definitely used Iron Maddie's tutorial video to help me a bit with some of the pieces to use, especially with that bush trick, putting like some grass growing. Definitely got some inspiration for that from Eden Gardens. So hopefully, as you can see, I am trying to add a lot more realism to this park than my last. For everything that I build, I'm going to be taking it the extra mile, trying to add as much as I can. With some of my parks, I tend to get a little bit lazy with some of the buildings and some of the rides that I build. In this park, there is no room for that. My goal is to go 110% for every single thing that I build in this park and hopefully make one of the best parks that I can physically make. So now, this is the official park layout. The trees represent where the nature area is going to go, the wheels represent where the industrial area is going to go, and the cubes represent where the water area. Those little grass patches that are a little bit darker are the planned coasters. Now I have 6 coasters so far planned, possibly 7 with a junior coaster. I plan on making this a little bit more family oriented, so there's going to be 2 family style coasters and then 4 more towards the thrill seekers. Coasters that I have planned already, which are a few. I want to keep those to a surprise. I will say though, I do plan on adding an Intamin Blitz coaster. That is the one coaster that I will tell you that I have planned for. I have 3 coasters that I currently have plans for, and the rest I need to figure out. So this is how it looks at night for all the lighting, the parking lot lit up. That grass area will be filled in later with bushes, rocks, and trees. So don't worry, it's not just going to be basic grass. I just really have not put those in yet. I will definitely put them in before the next episode. So now, go into the parking lot to pull apart what I did for this. Basically the same thing everyone does for the parking lot. Use the basic shape rectangles, put it to the ground, white, and yeah, it makes it look like the parking lot stuff. I put arrows to just to direct the cars, like go this way, you want to park, don't go all the way around, then park, just head where the arrows are. I cannot drive yet. That's really irrelevant, but cannot drive yet. I'm not a genius when it comes to the road, so I'm not, busting out every single road thing, because I really don't know a lot about that. I know the basics, but not like advanced. So for a first parking lot, I think I did a pretty good job. Definitely gonna improve on the parking lots as parks progress, like I do with every single aspect of my park. So now, as I talk about some more stuff to do with this park, I'm gonna get into the time lapses showing how I built some of the stuff, especially now showing some of the detailing I did for the main entrance building. So I used a lot of those pillars. Pillars is one of my favorite things to use in building these entrances because they can add a lot of cool designs and make things very unique. I use the adventure pieces and then put in a bunch of different shades of gray to make sort of a castle effect, but not like a super rough stone castle. It's more of a modern take on the castle pieces, and I tried to stray away from the castle type look because my last park had a castle, basically verbatim a castle entrance, and besides the towers, I think I did a really good job getting away from that. I used the same type colors. That's because I feel like the colors definitely fit what I was going for with this entrance, and I'm really proud on how this entrance came out. Like, if this is how the entrance is going to show, I'm excited to build the rest of the park and hopefully it can live up to the standards of this entrance. Because I'm looking to make a fantastic park and I really want to show off what I can do in this game. Because I feel like Lithic Mountains didn't really show off what I can truly do in this game since it was my first official park. I've improved a lot since then and I'm ready to show it through this series. So now I'm adding this pillars, which is building technique that I used. Well, not really technique. That's kind of a weird word to use in that. A building style that I use in the main plaza area for my last park. But instead of black this time, I'm changing the colors to a silver to add, like, show that it's a very modern park. It's not old, run down. The last park I built wasn't really old and run down either. Just shows that, hey, it's a modern park. They have silver pillars. They're a big deal. So now I'm building the towers, and this is how the top of the spire is going to look, I believe. This is where the tallest point is going to look. It's going to be like a pillar, and then it's going to have the spire at the top. But it's going to be a building. You can walk through it. There's not going to be an attraction in it. It's kind of like the castle at Disney World or Disneyland. You just walk through it. It's an attraction in itself. You don't have to ride it to be an attraction. So the main colors of this park is definitely going to be gray, black, white, and blue. That's going to be a common theme throughout the whole park. The nature area there's going to be a bit of change in color, I guess, but those are the three main colors that you'll see throughout. You'll see a couple different colors, though. It's not going to be one color throughout, but the spire in the middle is definitely going to be those colors. And so will the industrial area, because the industrial area is kind of like I guess you could say town of this park. There's the main plaza area, which is kind of like a marketplace, but then there's the industrial area, which have a lot planned for the industrial area, so just look forward to that, and look forward to the coming episodes. Because in the next episode, I'm going to be starting the plaza and hopefully finishing it for the next episode. So, with that said, hope you guys really enjoyed this new series. I hope you enjoyed episode 1. Just know there's a lot to come for this park. I have some really, really, really good ideas, and I'm excited to show each and every one of you what I have in store for this park. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.